Sit, Coco, sit. Good dog. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we'll be taking a look at Victoria's Secret. Now, recently Metro Center Mall in Phoenix, Arizona closed, which gave me an amazing opportunity to film a Victoria's Secret store. Obviously, I can't film one of these stores when it's open. Could you imagine? I'd go to jail. If somebody saw me filming, that wouldn't fly. But thankfully, we have a empty Victoria's Secret store here to take a look at. Even though there's no more product left on the shelves and the store is a little banged up at this point, I think you can still tell what a Victoria's Secret store looks like. This was one of the more banged up stores at Metro Center Mall the day we were filming there. There's a lot of smashed glass all over the place. It's kind of interesting, the big difference between all the, pink walls and pretty decor and then just smashed up displays and stuff. It's an interesting dichotomy. Surprisingly, as bad as Metro Center Mall was doing, this store was open almost until the end. It closed just a few months before Metro Center Mall itself closed for good. Victoria's Secret is a retailer that I've wanted to cover for a while on the channel, but like I said, I just haven't had a way to film one of their stores before. The reason why I wanted to cover them is their name doesn't often come up when people talk about struggling retailers and struggling mall retailers specifically. I also think they have a very interesting history, so before we take a look at any more of this store, let's go ahead and dive into some of that history. Victoria's Secret was founded in 1977 by Roy and Gay Raymond, and it has kind of an interesting story behind why it was founded. Roy had gone lingerie shopping for his wife, and he always found it very uncomfortable to do that. He always felt unwelcome in the store and that he shouldn't be there. So that gave him the idea of creating a lingerie store that men could feel comfortable shopping in for their wives. In 1982, Victoria's Secret had grown to 6 stores and a 40-page catalog. It was around this time that Les Wexner, the founder of L Brands, discovered Victoria's Secret and purchased them for $1 million. L Brands is also the owner of Bath & Body Works, another big mall retailer, and they've created several other retail chains over the years that they then later on spun off, such as Lane Bryant and The Limited. As for the original founder of Victoria's Secret, Roy Raymond, his story takes a tragic turn. After selling Victoria's Secret, he went on to open his own upscale children's store called My Child's Destiny. It was geared towards professional couples with children and sold expensive children's items like clothes and video games. Unfortunately, that business failed, and he had a few other failed business ventures after that. And then on August 26, 1993, after going through a divorce and several failed business ventures, Roy Raymond jumped from the Golden Gate Bridge and committed suicide. After Les Wexner and L Brands took over Victoria's Secret, they changed the store and geared it more towards women and high fashion. And by 1986, they opened their 100th store. In 1993, they introduced the Miracle Bra, which ensured Victoria's Secret would become a household name. In 1995, they held their first fashion show, which continued until 2018 and was a huge deal and a big part of their public image. Here we can take a look at some footage from the very first Victoria's Secret fashion show in 1995 in New York. This fashion show was a big deal for them, and it was even broadcast during prime time on a lot of the broadcast networks. Beginning in the late 90s or early 2000s, they started streaming the event on the internet, and it used to crash the Victoria's Secret servers from how many people would try to watch this thing. The Victoria's Secret fashion show was officially canceled in November 2019, and in 2006 they opened their 1000th store. Now you may be asking, why is Victoria's Secret struggling now? Well, one of the main reasons is some bad publicity concerning the CEO of L Brands, Les Wexner. It turns out he might just be a pile of human garbage and one of those billionaire stereotypes that you just imagine is a scumbag. Victoria's Secret was already facing declining sales, so their owner being gross definitely doesn't help the situation. Now what's interesting is the acting CEO of the Victoria's Secret brand recently announced that they would be stepping down, but this article mentions that it's in the middle of a turnaround. It's very confusing depending on who you ask about Victoria's Secret's situation, if they're struggling, if they're in danger, or if they're in the middle of a turnaround. Another article here I found talks about how they want to split the Victoria's Secret brand off from L Brands in August, and they actually had a deal at one point to sell it to Sycamore Partners, but that deal collapsed. But this article seems to be a lot less optimistic about their situation. You can see here that it mentions some sales metrics, and while Bath & Body Works has been doing well, Victoria's Secret registered a 3% drop in comparables year over year. Despite favorable conditions, it says. I don't know what conditions they think are favorable. And here's another recent article in USA Today talking about how they're struggling and their plans to split Victoria's Secrets off into a separate company. There's also been rumors that they plan on closing their flagship store in New York because they can no longer afford the $938,000 in rent. This is that store in New York, and it's obviously huge, but almost $1 million in rent? I don't know how you cover that selling bras and panties. I'd love to be able to check this store out after it closes, but let's go ahead and return back to the empty Victoria's Secret at Metro Center Mall. So I found this till summary receipt, and you can see the date on there is in March, and that's probably the last day that they were open. Got some old Victoria's Secret bags left laying around, and it looks like people have gone through the drawers and everything just looking for stuff. Now, this is the dressing room area, and I never imagined that I would be able to film a Victoria's Secret store, let alone a dressing room. Obviously, I can only do all this because the store is now closed. The other neat thing about filming a closed store is it lets us take a look at the back rooms and office areas to kind of maybe get a better idea of how the store is run. And I have to tell you, I was surprised with the size of the back room area of this store. I know that back room sizes can vary quite a bit, but it looks like they had a lot of room for stock in here. There's lots of shelving. There's also lots of little interesting bulletin boards and things posted around. Take a look at the Merchandise Flow Resource Center there, and here's a calendar. And you can see the last month written on here was March, and that Lex was here. If you're Lex, there your little note is still there on the board. This is kind of neat. This looks like where they get their music from, the in-store music, and this is instructions on how to play it and stuff. While doing research for this video, I was surprised to find that the Victoria's Secret Angel program is still a thing, even though the fashion show has been closed. Here's one of the old Victoria's Secret Angel commercials. I feel like it's been ages since I've seen a Victoria's Secret commercial featuring any angels, but when I looked at the Wikipedia page of the list of them, there are still several models that are listed as having active contracts with Victoria's Secrets to be an angel. I imagine, much like the fashion show, that this type of marketing will probably end soon as well. Now we're in a little office area in the back room. We can see there's some paperwork and files and things strewn about. Know your hotspots. I thought this was kind of cute. It looks like some of the employees here had marked their height there on the door jamb. I'm not really sure what the future holds for Victoria's Secret after they're spun off from L Brands. Obviously, the business model of relying on retail stores and malls is not going to be able to sustain them, so I imagine they'll focus much more on online sales in the future. That's funny. I've seen several types of those signs in offices over the years, the your mom doesn't work here, clean up after yourself signs. Now this kind of reminded me of the Victoria's Secret catalog. The catalog was one of the things they were most well known for, but they officially canceled it in 2016. And it was as if millions of teenage boys cried out at once and then were suddenly silenced. It's always surreal going through these closed stores and frankly abandoned stores. I would call this abandoned. I mean, they left just tons of fixtures and decor and stuff all over the place. It looks like they cut and run pretty quick. What are your thoughts on Victoria's Secret, though? Do you think that they'll be able to get past their current struggles, or do you think there's not much of a future left for them? Personally, I'm not sure. I think they can survive in some capacity, but I feel like we'll be seeing more Victoria's Secret stores looking like this in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Victoria's Secret. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/Retail Archaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on Victoria's Secret, the video that I never thought I'd be able to make. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and also make sure to follow at the social media links down there because that's the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel.